Hello, right, so basically I thought I need to change my drum heads. Might as well do a video on it, so I'm going to do my 2 snares in this video. So this is a 14 by 5.5, it is a Mapex Tornado. Yeah, it's a bit harder to do this one, just because that one, the 13-inch one that I've got, I tune it really high. This one's kind of like high-ish, but still want it a little bit lower than that one. But the heads are really worn on it. The coating's basically gone, and I thought might as well kind of get some new heads. So they're all, both snare drums are going to be the same heads, and it is the Emperor coated, and it's probably the best drum head for a snare drum. I've not really tried anything else, but it covers everything. So what we're going to do is take this head off and tune it. We're going to take this head off, and I'm going to show you how I tune and kind of do a little tutorial thing. So first thing is just to get the old head off, and I can already see that there is a load of wood just stuck between the rim and the head, but that will all come off, create an absolute mess on the floor, and I can sort that out later. So anyway, we're going to take this old head off and see what we're dealing with. So the way I'm going to take it off is to go across instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, just because then there's less damage of the hoop and doesn't warp the drum either. If you do these two and then do this one, these over here are gonna start to peel backwards just because the tension's over here and not over here. So I'm gonna do it's not the star pattern, but kind of just opposites, just so then it loosens the head evenly. I'm gonna start here. You can hear that the head is cracking a little bit. That is fine. I kind of just ignore it, especially if you're taking the head off. As long as you're going around evenly, there was a big one again, you will be absolutely fine. Checking, yeah. This has been really high-ish tuned for a while, and these heads are quite old. They're 3 years old. You'll get to a tension about to here where yes, it's still cracking, but you can go. It's not going to affect it that much. You can already hear that it's so much lower than where it was. So there's no life in this head anymore. I've taken all the tension off, and it is dead. That's where you want it to be to get it off. You don't want to try and undo one and then go, oh, let's just try and rip it off, because that won't work. You'll damage the head, you'll damage the rim, the metal parts, and just basically the entire drum. I've now got it down to a point where I can just use my fingers just to get it off. Sometimes the drum key can be a little bit of a pain, especially when it's so loose down here. Now that I've got all the tension rods out, I'm going to take them off the hoop, just so then I've got less chance of them going flying. You don't want to be losing the tension rod because they're a pain to get, and it's a bit easier not to. What I'd recommend is just getting like a little pot thing, putting them in there, and then you know they're in there. If you knock the pot over, it's going to be in the same area. Okay, there's a lot of dust, and that should be cleaned up pretty quickly. This is the old head. Ignore the fact that I'm shaking all the wood bits all over the floor, which I have just cleaned. That's when you know the head is gone. If there's there's no life in this head at all. You can tell, well, you can tell because the coating has worn off, and even where it hasn't, there is absolutely no coating, part of the brush coating left. And it's hard to show you on here, but if you look at it on your own head, you'll be able to tell there should be like a tiny little pit. Well, it shouldn't be, but on mine there is, where you just hit it and they just die after a while. But there's no tone left in that head, so that head is dead, and you just get rid of it. You can keep them as backup heads just in case. That's what I do. I kind of keep at least one of each as a backup one, just in case they decide to break on a gig or something goes and you think, I haven't got anything, you can't be bothered to try and replace them that quickly. Just having one to grab is quite useful, so that's probably what this one will become. But to have new heads on it will make it sound a lot better. I'm not changing bottom heads on this one. Doesn't need to. It's got the stock head on there at the minute. It used to have an actual head on it, a normal Remo one, but that had this stock one left. I thought, put it back on, why not? And it's kind of dealing with it. I'm not going to spend more money than I need to on this. I'm just going to give it a little wipe down. I'll just get a couple of little bits off. At this point you can, if you're crazy about how your drums look, like me, take the time to just clean the outside. It's not really that important, however, I like my drum kit to look nice as well as sound nice, so I'm just going to take a bit of time just to go around, remove all the little bits of wood, dust that's just gathered on here, and because the kit is in a black finish, you'll see the dust a lot more, especially if you're doing gigs and you've got lights and everything all over it. It will just show up a lot more, so just being able to take a couple of minutes just to go around and get rid of all the dust. That's basically done. You can, I have got a spray that I can use to clean it, however, it's looking pretty clean. I don't think I want to take the time to go around the whole thing and clean everything, because I have done that recently and it looks alright to me. So, now we've got the old head off, let's get the new one. So I'm using the exact same drum head that I've just taken off, which is the coated Emperor. You can put the head on in whichever way around you want. I'm just annoying and I like to have it lined up with the bottom head of the Rezo side, and that is all lined up to have the throw off on the right. And just bang in the middle of these two lugs here. Don't have to do that, however, if you are like me and you like to do that, take the time to do it, because it'll be annoying once you got it on to then go, oh, I did want that. Quickly before I put the rim back on, the two heads, this one's got a lot more tone out of it than that. This coating, obviously it's a brand new head, so the coating's going to be everywhere, but you don't really want to get it to that level. However, money exists. I haven't got a lot of it to be spending on drums, so at this point I'll probably get a sheet of plastic to put over it and it will do the job. So now we've got the head seated on here, what you want to do is give it a little press just to stretch it a little bit, and now get the hoop. You can, like I said with the other one, you can get sprays and whatever you want to clean it. I'm just going to give it a little wipe down, just to make sure there's no wood marks or little bits of wood inside of it. Now we're going to bring back the tension rods and just put them in. I'm not going to put them into the things just yet, I'm just going to slot them into where they go on here. Now what you want to do is just get them and just, with your fingers, this one's being stiff, just turn them until they just start to catch on the rim. You don't want to go too far and damage the head. Some of them can be a bit of a pain, so if they are, like these two are, just get your key and just give them a little nudge into it. And they should then go in. So this one's gone back in. That one's being more of a pain. But you want to do that all the way around. And this one's now going in. So if that happens, you just want to go around and just do the others, and then it should line itself up. This one's still being a bit of a pain. If that's the case, to get it also finger tight, just get it down to where the top of the rod is just on the rim. You don't want to go too far. What I'm doing there is just stretching the head out a little bit. So now I'm going to do a full turn on each of them, doing the exact same pattern before, skipping them all around. You might hear some cracks, and that's absolutely normal. It's just the glue sitting into the head. Can do is put it on the floor and just put a bit of your body weight on it, not too much, and just seat the head just to make sure the head fits to the rim. And then some of the tension rods might come a little bit looser because of that, but now what you can do, pretty dead. You just want to bring it up to where you want it. There's going to be cracking the entire time just because it's a new head. Bit of tone out of it now. Now the head's there, I have now put a load of finger marks all over my drum. That is fine. It's going to get dirty anyway. So now what you want to do, if you're like me, you can get a tune bot, and this basically all it does is it reads the frequencies, but you can also do it by ear. It doesn't make any difference. And I want this at about 330 on the top. Let's see where you are. And using that, just get any of them which are slightly lower and just bring them up, and also bring up the ones that are the other side of it as well, so then it's all evenly going up. And the numbers that I'm saying, I've spent some time finding out where my drums like to sit, and I've written down the numbers and I'm just following it. I will also use my ear just to double check, because you don't want to just rely on a machine to do this for you. There we go. Right. We're about 320. This one's a bit higher. Just going to bring the others up a little bit more. Bang on 330. Bit higher, bit lower. So these are pretty good down there. And because I brought these down, these ones have also come down. So that's at 330. 330, anywhere between 329 to 331. Basically, one either side, you should be fine. I like that. That's quite a nice sound. Bottom head, don't really touch. We'll see where you are anyway. Helps if I get rid of the wires. So basically, what I'm going to do is get a stick and just chuck it underneath. Carefully, and as high as possible. It's sitting around 360, so I might just bring it up a little bit. And you want to bring the rods up that are closest to the wires the most, just because they will be on a lot of tension, because they've got the wires down there as well. Let's see where you are now. I think that would be good. What I'm going to do is turn this round. Back the wires off completely. This will be easier on a snare stand. I just can't be bothered to go and get one. So now it is completely dead. There is no wires at all. What I'm going to do is slowly bring in the wires. There they are. There we go. What I might do is just bring the head down a little bit, because it is very high. I mean, bearing in mind these numbers that I've gotten, I was using on old heads, so they were under a lot more tension than these need to be. Let's see where you are now. That will do. That is how I tune my snare drum and just replace the heads on it. Kind of just crank it as high as possible. Just keeping everything under the same tension though. You can use a tune bot, you don't have to. I find it a lot easier just because I know what I want it to sound like, and I can, as a drum tech as well, it's so much easier just to go, okay, that's where it is, done, instead of going, I don't know where it needs to be. If I've got a list, I can just read it. But yeah, that's the 14 done. It will definitely go out of tune very quickly, and I will then just adjust it when it needs it. But hope you found that useful, and check out my other tuning videos that are coming out very soon as well. Should be doing a tom one and a kick drum one as well, so hope you enjoy this and found it a little bit useful. But yeah, check out the other videos, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.